Darkness cannot drive out darkness.
Closing argument time, because we're only 2.5 weeks until the election. So this is the final, this is it. So she realized, joy, that's not working for them. So now they've changed it. Now they're ramping up their rhetoric. And when she sat down with Bret Baier, she said, talking about you, he's unstable. When she was speaking at a rally in Erie, Pennsylvania, she called you unstable and unhinged. And then in this new ad that they've rolled out, she's saying unhinged, more unstable, and unchecked. And then this caller that called into Charlemagne the God, his Breakfast Club show, this caller says, I have a sneaking suspicion that if Trump wins, he's going to use this law to put anyone that doesn't look white in camps. And I'm scared. And she says, yeah. So you've hit on a really important point. What is your response and what is your closing argument?
Well, first of all, the question is a pretty rough question because, you're giving this whole argument of this woman that I don't think she knows where she is. She's a low IQ person. She's not smart. Everyone knows that. Didn't even pass her law exam. It was a big thing. She never thought she was going to be able to pass it. If you tell me this stuff, I'll say it. I am a person that they are a threat to democracy. These people are misinformation people. They'll say, let's go out with this one. They've tried many different things. They tried, he's a dictator. He's going to take over the whole world. He's a this. Every week they try something else. So far it hasn't worked. I guess that's the attack they have for this week. It doesn't seem to be working. I am the most stable human being. Remember they said a stable genius. I am the most stable human being. I've been doing this for a long time. We had 4 years of greatness. We had the greatest economy in history. We had the greatest border. Brian, you were down there.
Mr. President, we got a fun one.
But we'll fix it.
We got a 6-year-old from Massachusetts, and he wants to know about your favorite animal. Let's watch.
Mr. President, my name is Briar. I'm 6 years old. I live on a farm in Massachusetts. What's your favorite farm animal?
Favorite farm animal?
What's the animal?
Well, this guy grew up in the city.
I'll tell you what I love. I love cows. But if we go with Kamala, you won't have any cows anymore because you're not allowed. I don't want to ruin this kid's day. But I love cows. I think they're so cute and so beautiful and so productive. But according to Kamala, who's a radical left lunatic, you will not have any cows anymore. So we have to vote her out. If you like cows, you have to vote.
I know. Mr. President, I got a question for you. Either today or tomorrow, you're going to McDonald's. You're going to be working the fryer. Are you going to wear the paper hat?
I'm going to do everything. I'll tell you what.
Donald Trump worked the floor across the entire McDonald's restaurant, from salting fries.
So grab that.
Can you give him extra salt?
No. Yep. Oh, yep, good. Right there. And then we're going to grab the fry scoop right here, put it into there, and just give them a twirl that way.
You're going to do it.
A friend of mine
He's
owns
going to do it.
McDonald's someplace. Oh, I'm going. Because she lied.
You don't think she ever worked at McDonald's?
I know she did. We checked it out. Unless somebody comes up with something. We checked it out. They said she never worked here.
President, did you work at a McDonald's?
She even picked the store. We went to the manager. The manager's been there forever. You remember her? No, she never worked here. They know. Okay.
No, so will you wear the paper hat?
And you know who else stopped talking about it? The press. If I said I worked at McDonald's and it turned out not to be true, this would be the front page of that stupid New York Times, the worst paper. It is the worst rag. The New York Times is the worst, they would have me front page for months. Nobody, I can't get anybody. That's why I have to do it myself. That's why I'm doing it.
So you're going to get trained and you're going to make French fries?
I don't know how much the training will be.
Not too much salt.
It's not going to be.
Just about that much.
I love that salt. I love that salt. I love that salt.
So you might be wondering, what's the point of putting all of these clips together? And I think the point is this. We're just a few days from election, and we're spending all of this time talking about working at McDonald's, calling people names, doing all of these different, let's say, stunts, political stunts to get elected. And we're not really talking about the big and important issues. There are bigger issues than trying to defame other people and laughing about it. It really, really bothers me, regardless of which way you're going to vote, which way you think that this country should go, that we spend more time having little side meaningless conversations than actually having powerful, impactful discussions about how we might go about changing things, changing the problems in the world. Now, I want to show a clip of Bishop Barron now, and he's going to explain, I think from a Christian perspective, what will actually change things? You see, the biggest issue in the United States and any country in the world at large is not inherently political. It's much deeper than that. It's theological and spiritual. Pay attention to what Bishop Barron says here as he is reflecting upon Martin Luther King Jr.
Returning hate for hate multiplies hate, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. There's the deep metaphysics that undergirds his whole vision. And then there's this spiritual strategy, if you want, that's grounded in the New Testament. So here's where I'm going with this, everybody. And I can't say much more now in the context of this brief presentation, but I will say more a little bit later. We're going through a similar time right now in our culture, a time of real convulsion. Are there violations of justice in our world today? Obviously. Are there great social wrongs that need to be righted? Yes, absolutely. Can I suggest that the best way to address this is the way Martin Luther King did? The best way to do it is to see a tight relationship between our passion to right moral wrongs, making sure that it's grounded in an ethical vision, and finally in a deeply spiritual and religious vision. As we look at the admittedly deep injustices in our world today, can we see in Martin Luther King this great political figure and this great religious figure, perhaps the best lodestar as we consider how best to respond to our situation?